Journey to the West, Chapter 4. So before I get to the reading, I just wanted to give a little heads up. This is possibly my third time trying to record this chapter, and while listening to the previous two recordings, I noticed two things. Number one, my natural tendency is to read kind of fast. So I tried as much as I can to kind of slow down in my reading and my talking. I really hope that the way it came out is, comprehensible to listeners, but not so slow that it's annoying. The other thing I noticed is that my microphone is not the best, so there's a certain amount of muffling that I noticed it does. And for this reason, I tried to the best of my ability to enunciate things that I read. If it still comes out incomprehensible, I apologize. Maybe I should get a better microphone. And I hope that the enunciation doesn't come out too annoying. So that said, I won't keep you waiting any longer, and let's get to the reading. So this is Journey to the West, Chapter 4. Dissatisfied at being appointed protector of the horses, not content with the title of equal of heaven. The great white planet left the depths of the cave with the handsome Monkey King, and they ascended together on their clouds. As Sun Wukong's somersault cloud was exceptionally fast, he reached the southern gate of heaven first, leaving the great white planet far behind. Just as he was putting away his cloud to go in, his way was barred by the heavenly guardian, Virudaka, and his powerful heavenly soldiers, Lu, Go, Bi, Deng, Jin, Zheng, and Tao, who blocked the gate of heaven with their spears and swords, and refused to let him in. "This old great white planet is a trickster," said Sun Wukong. "He invited me here, so he has no business to have kept me out with spears and swords." Just as he was kicking up a row, the planet suddenly arrived. Sun Wukong flung his accusations at him. "Why did you play this trick on me, you old fogey? You told me you came with an edict of amnesty from the Jade Emperor to invite me here. So why did you arrange for these people not to let me in through the gates of heaven?" The great white planet laughed. "Don't be angry, your majesty. You've never been here before. Your name is not on the books here, and the heavenly soldiers have never met you. Of course they wouldn't let you in just for asking. But when you've seen his celestial majesty and have been given office among the immortals, you'll be able to come and go as you wish, and nobody will try to stop you." "Be that as it may," said Sun Wukong, "I'm not going in." The white planet would not let him go, and asked him to go in with him in spite of it all. As they approached the gate, the planet shouted, "Heavenly officers of the gates of heaven, sergeants and soldiers, let us in. This is an immortal from the lower world, and I am carrying an edict from the Jade Emperor summoning him here." Only then did the heavenly king, Zheng and his soldiers withdraw their arms and stand back. Now the Monkey King began to trust the great white planet. He walked slowly in with him and looked at the view. Truly it was his. First ascent to the upper world. Sudden entry into paradise. 10,000 beams of golden light shone with reddish glow. 1,000 strands of propitious vapor puffed out purple mist. See the southern gate of heaven. Deep green, crystalline, shimmering bright, studded with jewels. On either side stood scores of heavenly marshals, tall as the roof beams next to the pillars, holding a metal-tipped bow and banners. All around stood gods in golden armor, brandishing their clubs and halberds, wielding their cutlasses and swords. The outside was remarkable enough, but the inside astonished him. Here were several mighty pillars, round which coiled tawny bearded dragons, their gold scales gleaming in the sun. There were long bridges, were studded phoenixes, brilliant of plumage and with bright red crests. A rosy glow shone with heavenly light. Thick green mists obscured the pole star. In this heaven there are 33 heavenly palaces. The Palace of Clouds Dispersed, the Vaisravana Palace, the Palace of Five Lords, the Sun Palace, the Palace of Flowery Bliss. Every palace had golden animals on its roof. Then there were 72 precious halls. The Hall of Morning Audience, the Hall of Rising into Space, the Precious Light Hall, the Hall of the Heavenly Kings, the Hall of the Master of Miracles, jade unicorns on every column. On the terrace of the Star of Longevity grew flowers that never wither. Beside the stove, for decocting elixir, were herbs that stay green forever. In front of the facing sage pavilion, crimson gauze clothes glittered like stars. Lotus hats shone with golden jade. Jade hairpins in pearl-sewn shoes, golden seals on purple cords. As the golden bell tolled, the 3 classes of divinities approached the steps and submitted memorials. As the heavenly drum was beaten, 10,000 sage kings attended the Jade Emperor. They attended the Hall of Miraculous Mist, where jade doors were studded with gold, and phoenixes danced before the crimson gates. Winding arcades, everywhere carved in open work, layer on layer of eaves, with dragons and phoenixes soaring. On top was a majestically purple, bright, perfectly round, and dazzling, golden gourd-shaped finial. Below, fans hung from the hands of heavenly consorts, while jade maidens proffered magic clothes. Ferocious, the heavenly generals guarding the court. Majestic, the immortal officials protecting the throne. In the middle were set crystal dishes, filled to overflowing with great monad pills, in which stood twisted coral trees. All the wonderful things in heaven were there, none of which are seen on earth. Golden gates, silver chariots, and purple palace. Precious plants, jade flowers, and jasper petals. The jade hairs of the princes at court ran past the altar. The golden rooks of the sages present flew down low. The golden rooks of the sages present flew down low. The Monkey King was fated to come to heaven rather than be sullied by the mortal world. The great white planet led the handsome Monkey King to the outside of the Hall of Miraculous Mist. He went straight into the imperial presence without waiting to be summoned, and did obeisance to the throne. Sun Wukong stood bolt upright beside him, not bothering with any court etiquette, but just concentrating on listening to the great white planet make his report to the Jade Emperor. In obeisance is a divine edict, your subject has brought the demon immortal here. The Jade Emperor lowered his curtain and asked, "In which of you is the demon immortal?" "Me," replied Sun Wukong, only now making a slight bow. The faces of the officials went white with horror as they exclaimed, "What a savage monkey! He has the impudence to answer me, and without even prostrating himself first. He must die." In reply to this, the Jade Emperor announced, "Sun Wukong is a demon immortal of the lower world, who has only just obtained human form. So he's not acquainted with court procedure. We shall forgive him this time." "We thank you for your mercy," said the immortal ministers. Only then did Sun Wukong express his respect by bowing low and chanting Na-ah-ah at the top of his voice. The Jade Emperor ordered his immortal civil and military officials to find a vacancy in some department for Sun Wukong. The Star Lord Wuku stepped forward from the side and reported, "There are no vacancies in any of the palaces, halls, and departments of heaven, except for a superintendent in the imperial stables. Then make him protector of the horses, ordered the Jade Emperor. All the ministers thanked him for his mercy, apart from son Wukong, who just expressed his respect with a loud na-ah-ah. The Jade Emperor then told the Wood Planet to take him to the imperial stables. The Wood Planet accompanied the delighted Monkey King to his post and then went back to the palace. The Monkey King then called together the deputy and the assistant superintendent, the bookkeeper, the grooms, and all the other officials, high and low, to find out about the duties of his department. He found that he had to look after 1,000 heavenly horses, chestnuts and stallions, coursers and chargers, dragon and purple swallow, Pegasus and Sunshine, Jute and Silver, Yao Niao and Flying Yellow, Tautu and Feathers, Red Hair and Faster Than Light, Dazzler and Horizon, Mist Soarer and Victory, Wind Chaser and Matchless, Flying Wing and Galloping Mist, Lazy Whirlwind and Red Lightning, Bronze Cup and Drifting Cloud, Skewbald and Tiger Stripe, Dust Free and Purple Scales, the 4 Fergana Steeds, the 8 Chargers and 9 Gallopers, coursers that ran cover 300 miles. All these fine horses were neighing in the wind, chasing the lightning, mighty in spirit, pawing the mist, climbing the clouds, great in their strength. The Monkey King looked through the register and counted the horses. In the stables, the bookkeeper was responsible for ordering the fodder. The head groom was in charge of currying the horses, chopping up and cooking the fodder, and giving them water. The deputy superintendent and his assistant helped to oversee the work. The protector of the horses looked after his charges, sleeping neither by day nor by night. It is true that he fooled around by day, but at night he looked after the animals with great diligence, waking them up and making them eat whenever they fell asleep, and leading those still on their feet to the trough. At the sight of him, the heavenly horses would prick up their ears and paw the ground, and they became fat and plump. Thus more than half a month slipped by. On one morning there was a holiday. All of the officials of the stables held a feast, both to welcome and congratulate the protector of the horses. In the middle of the party, the Monkey King suddenly put down his cup and asked, "What sort of office is this protector of the horses?" "What the name suggests, that's all." "Which official grading does it carry?" "Unclassified." "What does unclassified mean?" "Bottom grade," the others replied, going on to explain. "It is a very low and unimportant office, and all you can do in it is look after the horses. Even someone who works as conscientiously as your honor, and gets the horses so fat, will get no more reward than someone saying, 'Good.' And if anything goes at all wrong, you will be held responsible, and if the losses are serious, you'll be fined and punished." The Monkey King flared up on hearing this, gnashed his teeth, and said in a great rage, "How dare they treat me with such contempt? On the mountain of flowers and fruit, I am king and patriarch. How dare he trick me into coming here to feed his horses for him? It's a low job for youngsters, not for me. I won't do it. I won't. I'm going back." He pushed the table over with a crash, took his treasure out of his ear, and shook it. It became as thick as a rice bowl, and he brandished it as he charged out of the imperial stables to the southern gate of heaven.